Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Great Tall Immortal here, and today I'm gonna show you guys my tier list on short guy or short cell copes. Okay, so our first cope on the list is going to the gym. I'm gonna put this at healthy habit, and I know despite what a lot of bitter short cells say about the gym not helping them, I actually think it's essential, and no, it's not essential for mental health reasons, okay? Matter of fact, fuck mental health, right? You're a short cell anyway. That shit was cooked from the get-go. The real reasons why I think it's essential is because number one, it's going to differentiate you from all the twinks and the wimps at your height. Okay, remember, these women look for safety and security, right? And they can tell those two just straight up off your build. Number two, a bad physique could genuinely be the difference from you having a shot to her getting the ick. So imagine, right, you're talking to this girl, you're building up the rapport and whatever, having a good time. And then let's say you guys have a beach day and you take off your shirt, in front of her for the very first time. And then she sees you're like this scrawny fuck, bro. And then she gets the ick off that, and then that's it. Your fucking chances are over. See, the thing about being a short cell is that if you ever want to pull a mid-tier Becky or above, you have to use everything, and I'm talking everything at your disposal, man. Everything is fucking max, bro. Fashion max, looks max, physique max, fucking everything max. And the third reason is that you actually obtain a considerable amount of male respect from being built. And with this, not only are you going to get that target off your back and you're going to get picked on much less, but it'll also passively help with dating in general. And so the reason why you hear these short cells being so bitter about it is because they either overdid it with their disgusting, overcompensating proportions, or because they're sub 5s or low tier normies, in which for them, I guess they would put it in barely makes a difference. So our second cope on the list is a tall girl. Okay, I'm gonna put this at useless. So right off the bat, I have to say, if a tall girl were to find out that you have a genuine fetish for them, they'd probably feel, dehumanized and repulsed. Please do not compliment them like how Chadlet Maxing did.
Oh my God, you are tall, you're intelligent, you're attractive. You're basically Mustache Man's ideal woman. And I just looked at her and smiled.
Dude, I mean, you can't be fucking calling them that, man. Oh my goodness, bro. Again, no hate to Chadlet Maxing, It takes a lot of courage to share a story like that. But, this is the type of thing I'm trying to warn you guys against. In reality, tall girls are actually the exact same as the short foids that you guys have a grudge against, okay? Just with a varying degree of height insecurity. That's all. So instead of saying they want a 6-foot guy, they're gonna say they want a 6'5" guy. But in some cases, they actually don't care about height, and even in rare cases, yes, they could be your dommy mommy. In any case, not the worst cope, but fetishizing them is just plain weird. All in all, a pretty useless cope, considering the dommy mommy you're looking for is really a unicorn, and the actual ones out there want proper human beings and not corn addicted sub 5 low tier normie freakazoids. So, third on the list, we got femboy conversion or twinkification. So I'm gonna put this one on out of sight and out of mind tier. This is personal to me because this is a pathway that I nearly slipped into when I was 14 and I was a blue-pilled anime dweeb, okay? Sometimes short cells like to find comfort in their stature by flipping the roles and feminizing themselves. This is an especially slippery slope if they grew up as a cute cell, which if you guys don't know is good looking from youthful soft features, which will eventually fade with age. It's in the out of sight out of mind tier because in the moment it seems like a good path to take, and you might even find that you fit in or you're validated by a certain group of people. But an aging cute cell is a ticking time bomb, and as you'll grow, you'll turn from a cute femboy to a grotesque abomination, and you'll regret ever taking the twinkification path. So fourth is fashion maxing. I'm going to put this in healthy habit tier, and the reason why I placed it here is because for high tier normie short cells, you can genuinely pull mid tier Becky plus as long as you're charismatic and you play your cards right. Even if you're a chop short cell, you can at least be seen as an actual human being because it'll give the impression that you're a cool person with style rather than a socially awkward weirdo. So the caveat here is that you need to have an acceptable physique and an acceptable body fat percentage. truth of the matter is, fashion can't save you from face fat, but it can give you the illusion of proper proportions, like when you use the rule of thirds. And similar to going to the gym, fashion maxing is a definite non-negotiable of existing as a short sell. At 5th, we have charisma, and I'm going to put it at genuine hope fuel tier. So yes, I do believe charisma is indeed genuine hope fuel, because truly, charisma and status are basically the two great equalizers for short sells. I think if you have an abundance of both, then it's definitely possible for you to pull a mid-tier Becky and above. As for sub-5s and low-tier normies, charisma will be the catalyst in helping you find your looks match. The reason why I can say this is because I have a homeboy who admitted himself, he's not the best looking, but his life and my life are completely different. Like, this guy is no stranger to hanging out with and flirting with girls at the grand height of 5'3.5". Even better, if you think it's truly over and you want to E-date max on fucking Valorant or something, then charisma is unbeatable and you will easily punch above your weight class. Next on the list, we have limb lengthening surgery, which I'm going to put as genuine hope fuel. Now, I will give a disclaimer. Limb lengthening surgery is not for everyone because, like every other surgery, there are risks for complications and life is totally livable without it. I admit that. But in my opinion, and I'm saying this shit with tears in my eyes, limb lengthening surgery is the one reason why there's hope not to off yourself. With a modification to your tibia and your femur, you can gain around 5 inches of additional height. And man, that difference is like heaven and earth. People are gonna say, oh, you're permanently disabling yourself. But realistically, the only videos they watch about height surgery are the ones where like they're fresh out of the operating table and they're literally just starting their rehab phase. Like, you can still walk and run if you put enough time into rehab and getting your body to readjust, with the biomechanics again. They might also say 6 foot with 5'7" wingspan or some shit like that. But in truth, as long as you're not curling your arms, no one can really tell. Like, your arms will still dip below your torso and look normal. And in fact, because of the long legs, you'll finally balance out your torso and make your proportions look human-like again. If you're a true short sell, then you know the costs of height surgery are a cheap price to pay compared to all the fucking pain and suffering that you've endured. So like I've said, it's not for everyone and there's risks, but fuck it, man. The wonders of medical engineering are truly marvelous, man. So up next, we have the height is just a number cope. So I'm gonna put that in whatever keeps the gun away. This is by far the most blatant cope on the tier list because there's really only 3 types of people who say this. Number 1, there's the foids who are genuinely ignorant of the world outside of their ridiculous, hive-minded, indulgent social construct. Okay? Number 2 are the guys who were born with a height of 5'7" and above and cannot comprehend what the lower heighted short cell goes through. And then number 3, deluded short cells who either struck gold with the just be first theory, they settled with a low tier Becky or a sub 5 woman, or they tell themselves this solely just to keep the rope at bay. So yeah, I don't even gotta explain further. Next up is reincarnation. So I'm gonna put this at whatever keeps the gun away, because my fellow short cells know you are not going to get hit by a truck and isekai as a 6-foot chadlight in the next life, okay? You're not going to rebirth into a cultivation wuxia as a wielder of one of the 10 heavenly physiques. Like, this shit is funny to joke about, but, don't lose your bearings, man. Stay with me now. Ooh, I've been waiting to do this one. Okay, female reassurance in the comments. I'm gonna put this in useless tier, okay? Please, for the love of our Heavenly Father, do not ever give an ounce of credibility to the foids in the comment sections with the audacity to speak on the life of a short male, okay? Because it's the age-old tale of them saying that they don't actually care about height and that they really care about the inner character or whatever, and then you come to find out, their boyfriend is over 6 foot, right? If you guys don't know, there's actually a concept where women are afraid of admitting their inner carnal desires and will blatantly say the opposite of what they want. Like, for example, they'll say they're not into this type of person, but then they'll thirst for that same person in their book or show or Instagram or whatever, right? And so the reason why they do this is that so they'll feel validated and accepted by society. Regardless, useless feedback belongs in the useless tier. So up next, we got learning about female nature / dating dynamics. I'm gonna put this at healthy habit because honestly, for the people who are rookies and are still green to the game, if you're too pussy to actually go outside and talk to girls and make mistakes, then just pick up a book and get that knowledge from the people who already made those mistakes. One book I suggest you guys read is called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. This book is truly an OG Red Pill classic, before Red Pill got its name fucking slandered by liars and money making schemes. And if you guys are fucking illiterate or something and can't read a book, definitely check out a channel on YouTube. His name is YBC Too Cold. This guy is genuinely spits the best game out there. I think he's really unique compared to those other Red Pill trash because this guy combines all the best aspects from all the pills. So like even the black pill, the blue pill, the red pill, fucking the white pill, just every pill, and he combines the best correct aspects and puts it all to a unique, perspective. Height fishing and fraud maxing. I'm gonna put this one in barely makes a difference. Now, I will say, blatantly lying about your height in a dating site or wearing lifts, that shit is like truly despicable and just straight up pointless. But just like how people find the best angle and lighting for their face, finding the best angle for appearing taller is also part of the wonderful game. Doing all the extra hacks with clothing and camera angles is completely fair game and can help you get your foot in the door with the initial attraction. But remember this, at the end of the day, when you step into their house in person and take your shoes off, all the smoke and mirrors are going to dissipate and your true stature will be revealed, okay? So it really doesn't make enough difference for it to be a healthy habit. 10th on the list is my personal favorite, Looksmaxxing. So I'm gonna put this in healthy habit. So we all know that this world is superficial and it places high value on things like money and looks, okay? So when a stranger meets you out on the street, the human brain analyzes you in mere milliseconds based on what's immediately in front of them, okay? In such a short amount of time, they give themselves the impression of what kind of man you are, if you're a subhuman or if you're worthy of the genetic gene pool, as well as if you're a threat to them or not. Obviously, humans are not as simple as this, and there are other complex moralities and compassions that come into play when they're perceiving you. But on a biological level, like these analyses are absolute. I mean, you can't deny it. People love to say that looksmaxxing is a pathetic existence to live by and that it's deeply rooted in insecurity. But to the people who are at the bottom of the food chain and the social hierarchy, especially short people, it literally is the difference between being seen as genetic trash or an actual human being. And now we have an old friend, Red Pill. So this is going to be in barely makes a difference tier. This is basically most of the Red Pill. The high value male archetype, that shit is corny, right? The content creators are just bitter 40-year-olds complaining about hypergamy. The Red Pill itself is detached by reality and it ducks the Black Pill. The only good takeaways from it is the self-improvement and the social skills. That's literally it. You see, but the problem is, short people always have it harder, and so the benefits that one gains from Red Pill are not as impactful. And the Black Pill far outshines the Red Pill for short people, which is why I put it in barely makes a difference tier. Second to last is drinking, smoking, and general degeneracy. I'm gonna put this one in out of sight, out of mind tier. Now these things really do put the height pill out of sight and out of mind, but I'm sure you know by now these things are just temporary and self-destructive measures. Me personally, I've never touched a drop of alcohol or smoked anything, never indulged in much degeneracy, but there are plenty of stories out there of people who do. And if anything, it doesn't keep the gun away, it might actually make it worse and bring the gun closer. Now this cope can be an aura farm on rare occasions, but rarely does anything good ever come out of indulging in this stuff. Definitely not recommended. The last cope that I have for this tier list is status maxing. I'm gonna put this at genuine hope fuel because like I mentioned previously, status and charisma are the two great equalizers. One of the greatest examples of this is a streamer who goes by the name of Jason the Ween. This guy is relatively short and his looks are even made fun of sometimes. People compare him to, Sid the Sloth, but the charisma on the guy is crazy enough that he got shot to the top of the streaming space. And when you have this type of status, everyone wants to be around you. If you look at his Hinge elo, it's on par with a guy like Marlon. It's just straight up 10 out of 10 ABGs, back to back to back to back to back. Which is why I truly think that if short cells have an abundance of charisma and status, as well as fix up their appearance, it really is never truly over for them. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the tier list. So if you learned something from this video or if you related to it, please, leave a like, definitely sub, because I'm gonna be making more videos. But yeah, and leave a comment if I missed any COPES. I think I got all of them, but yeah, that's it. See ya.